Welcome, welcome. It's a new and improved edition of the Great North American Sports Show, and we'll get into that in a minute. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Lacasse, coming to you live from the Shire, and the heart of it, I might add, and joined as always by my friend and co-host north of the border in our friendly neighbors of the North, Toronto, Ontario. It's the one and only John Santina. How are you, John?
Doing great today, Alex. A little bit starting to get a little bit chilly here as we about to enter November. But anyway, buddy, how are you doing though?
Still upright, and believe it or not, it's the freaking Indian summer climate catastrophe thing. We're gonna have a few days in the 70s to enjoy the weekend, so just to torture us before it gets cold. But as you're north of the Canadian cold shield, so it's definitely turning a winter turning winter up there for you guys for sure.
You guys got a little bit better than us. Thankfully, there's no snow, no turning anything. Right now, the leaves look beautiful, but like I said, the weather's getting a little cold. That's all, my friend.
Another day in paradise, my friend, down here. So John and I are really excited. We're gonna do a little bit of a transition of our programming here on GNASS. In the coming weeks, we're going to be putting out a deep dive and an exploration to topics in the sports world that just really that take interest to us, and that we think we can repackage and make into a really awesome episodic show that really touches on just really key issues that we don't think really people are thinking about these various sports leagues. And so our first one's going to be a look at the NFL, and we will get into that later. But so John and I are going to keep releasing shorter weekly episodes with a couple, at least during the football season, everybody's favorite segment, Bad Football. And because there's just so many idiot coaches and stupid teams in the National Football League still. And everybody's also second favorite segment, because we can earn some money, and that would be Degenerates Corner. So, John, why don't we'll just get right into some bad football from around the week? How does that sound?
Sounds good, my friend, because there always is tons of bad football in the NFL.
Tons of bad football, so little time. We'll just hit on the top ones that we caught on. John, what stuck out to you from this past week of the National Football League?
I had one immediate one stick out, Alex. Less on the field actually this week for me, and more off of it. That would be, of course, the Tennessee Titans and their sort of half rebuild. Also, shout out to my dog making an appearance in the background here. But the Tennessee Titans trading the Tennessee Titans trading Kevin Byard off to the Philadelphia Eagles for virtually nothing. And let me tell you something, it's a masterstroke for the Philadelphia Eagles. The rich get richer. But for me, this is just bad football because, guys, trade deadline, we just like to see some more action, something besides this. But Alex, you dive right into it because I know you got a big one that you want to hit on.
Yeah, just Byard's, that's a good name. And like, it's kind of like the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, what are you doing bailing out the probably best team in the NFC East, given what we saw to the 49ers? Exactly. So we pointed this out on the GNASS Twitter account, at the GNASS, if you're so inclined to throw a follow. Because first I wanted to go to the Bills and Patriots and their timeout management, because if you follow this program at all, the misuse of timeouts in this league makes me want to stick my head in an oven. But we have to go to the Atlanta Falcons game because their quarterback, Desmond Ridder, he lost 2 fumbles on the 1 yard line that were one was a touchback, and then he also lost a third fumble. And at least the Falcons, when they came out of the gate, it was like, well, Bijan Robinson, he's this runner, passing game weapon out of the backfield. If Ridder can just kind of not suck,
Drake London and Kyle Pitts too as well. Very high draft picks for the Atlanta Falcons.
But... So it looks like they could have been on the come, but Desmond Ridder has played at least these last several weeks. This Sunday especially. It looks like they're going nowhere fast, John.
Definitely not. I mean, there was some talk about potentially like a rumor floating around about Justin Fields, but I don't see that one happening. Maybe they can swing Kirk Cousins, man, but they're betting a lot right now with Desmond Ridder. They need a big dub this week if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. So let's see if they can pull it off.
It is the NFC South, though, and anything could happen. I mean, Baker Mayfield could turn back into a pumpkin at any second.
Yep, 100%, my friend. But that being said, Alex, let's dive in to Degenerates Corner. All right, Alex, what is your best bet for this week?
I mean, I know he led off with bad football, but the NBA comes back tomorrow. Happy birthday, Alex.
Happy
And
birthday.
so it's Celtics opening night in Madison Square Garden. I mean, the Celtics have been the team poised to win a championship for 5 effing years now, it feels like. And I'm just saying, and now Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have nowhere to hide, right? And they better take ownership of this team. You bring in Kristaps Porzingis, you ship out Marcus Smart, who I think hopefully addition by subtraction there. Porzingis just stay healthy at least, at least more healthy than Rob Williams.
Drew Holiday as
Uh,
well.
and right, and you bring in Drew Holiday, a real veteran who's won something, and a lot of players on this team that's been their problem. They carry themselves like they have won something. Now you actually bring in a guy who's won something. It was, the Bucks don't win that championship without Holiday. I know Giannis was the MVP. Anyways, I digress. So we're going to Knicks Celtics opening night tomorrow, on October 25th. You got to shop around. I think it's probably moved to -3 now for the Celtics, but I got it at 2.5. So Celtics -2.5. We're going over 25.5 points for Jason Tatum and over 1.5 through for the new toy on the offense. That's Kristaps Porzingis. Over 1.5 3-pointers made. Altogether, that's plus 350.
Okay. Alex, for my bet, I will be going to the Premier League this weekend. We have an upset watch to look for. The reason for that is Tottenham Hotspur are currently the only, or not the only, but one of the undefeated teams remaining in the Premier League table. They are going to Selhurst Park on the road to play Crystal Palace. Now, Ange Postecoglou, the manager of Tottenham, known to be very offensive, known to go for the dub. I'm going to take Crystal Palace for the tie on this one at plus 290. I think even at plus 310 for a win, they're a great bet right now. Being at home, like I said, a lot of pressure on Tottenham to keep this up and take hold of the table. And Tottenham, traditionally a club that does not come up big in these moments. So I'm taking Crystal Palace to pull off the tie here at plus 290, like I was saying. But if you're a keen bettor, plus 310 for a Crystal Palace win is also good at home.
All right. Got to sniff out them dogs in the Prem. John, do you have a long shot or a parlay that you'd like to share?
Buddy, I have a parlay, and kind of like we were saying, I'm gonna have to pile on some teams that we mentioned in bad football. I'm hoping that they can do better than their bad football, though. So for my Super Sunday parlay, we are going to do straight money line bets, just for everyone involved to make it easier, and try to get as well, not every game, but a lot of the games that are happening this Sunday. So we're going to start with the Falcons on the money line versus the Titans. Hopefully a little bit of a better showing from Desmond Ridder, like as we mentioned. We'll take the Jags on the money line versus the Steelers. Steelers not really scoring a lot of points. Kenny Pickett having a lot of trouble moving that ball downfield, so I'm taking the up-and-coming Jags. Cowboys money line versus the Rams. Cowboys, one of the stingiest defenses in the NFL. Rams a little bit inconsistent, going through a little bit of a retooling phase, so I'm taking the Cowboys, hopefully to keep the momentum going, to try to keep pace with the Eagles. The Dolphins on the money line versus the Pats. Sorry, Alex. The Dolphins are a train. I fully expect them to rebound after that loss to the Eagles last week. And they are a scoring machine that I just don't think the Pats and Mac Jones can keep up with. Jets. Okay, go ahead first.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, well, I actually have been ostracized from cheering the Patriots because I picked against them on my Survivor pick last week. And I'm wearing that one, John.
Happens,
nobody
buddy.
looks
Happens,
like a bigger
buddy.
jackass than this guy right here.
It's all good, buddy. It happens. It happens in the Survivor pool, man. You have limited options these days sometimes. But then we're gonna continue with Jets money line versus the Giants. A Giants fan, yeah, everyone knows, but unfortunately, man, we kind of suck this year. I actually kind of wish they would trade Saquon Barkley. Unfortunately, not. Kevin Byard, hopefully a happy debut with the Eagles because I'm taking them on the money line versus the Commanders. Ravens money line versus the lowly Cardinals. Chiefs money line versus the Broncos because obviously. And last but not least, Lions money line versus the Raiders. I really like the vibes the Lions got going this year. I think Motor City Dan Campbell really got a good program going. Great drafting. Realistically, the only miss they've had is Jameson Williams, but beside the point, the Lions are rolling, creative team. I love their offensive strategy. I think they're going to run all over the Raiders this week. That total parlay is plus 1995. for this
1995,
Sunday.
a fine year, John.
Yes, my friend. We hit this parlay. We'll use to buy a bottle of wine from that year.
There we go. And so for my long shot, I mean, start of the NBA season. This is our first show of the NFL season. So let's do a 16 leg
cross-sport
parlay.
parlay. Ooh.
A little college football, a little NFL. I should have
Ooh.
asked you for an NHL winner before I laid the bet, but so no NHL in this,
It's all good.
unfortunately. So we got the NBA, college football, and the NFL. I know I said that the Celtics, I like them covering 2.5 or laying 2.5 rather against the Knicks. But it's still the Knicks. It's Tom Thibodeau. I still like an under environment. It's a pretty high number, 225.5. You know, the Celtics are going to be working out maybe some kinks to start the season. So I will play under 225.5 there. We're going under 235, Bullets, Pacers. Bullets losing Bradley Beal, Pacers. Who knows what you're going to see out of that outfit? That's in Indianapolis. I like under 235 again. Another big number. Cavs laying 1 point on the road to the Nets. Hopefully, Cleveland's taking another step this year. They certainly have the rebounding with their post play. Out of the gates, 1 point. The most common margin of victory in the NBA is 5 points. So anything inside 5 points, I would definitely take Cleveland there. Not that it's going to jump up to, let them laying 5 points between now and tip off tomorrow. We're going to go over 225.5. T-Wolves, Raptors at home in Toronto. Hopefully Raptors, good showing. And who never, Timberwolves, they don't, despite their bigs, they don't like to play defense all that much. Speaking of teams
that smash that over if Scotty Barnes is healthy, which he appears to be like he will be, but because the offense going to be switching around him, a lot more shooting involved, a lot more ball movement. But like I said, he appears to be healthy, but they're playing it off like it's game time. So, sorry, Alex, continue.
No, of course. No, thank you for the insight. Then we'll go, the Sacramento Kings played no defense last year. They're playing the Jazz in Utah. Hopefully they got in early so they could get their sea legs at altitude. Over 237.5, kind of a high number, but it's okay. We're going to take Georgia on the money line in the Georgia-Florida line game. It's played in Jacksonville, so there's no home field advantage. This is Florida's choky, and Georgia's the best team in the country, so we like Georgia there. We're going to take Texas on the first half money line. It was minus 575, so the full game line was, minus 1,000, whatever. So just in the first half, they have BYU at home. Appalachian State, same deal. They're minus 520 in the first half, so we get a slightly better number on that money line. USC, they're playing at Cal Berkeley. Caleb Williams, they need to rebound after kind of 2 poor games. Last time out, I actually saw him in LA. It was a crazy game against Arizona, triple overtime, and then they went to Notre Dame and got spanked. Neither here nor there. We're gonna take Ohio State on the money line. They're at Wisconsin. Hopefully it's not a letdown spot for Ohio State, so that's why we're just taking them on the money line. We're taking North Carolina on the money line. They also had a letdown game, so hopefully they can bounce back at Georgia Tech. We're gonna take Wazoo on the road at Arizona State. Arizona State almost pulled off the upset last week, but they're a bad football team. Wazoo, they're always, competitive in the Pac-12 for what's left, for what's going to be left of it. I think Wazoo and Oregon State are going to be the last 2 remaining. That'll be another topic of a show. What's been done to the college sports landscape, because that is a clusterfuck and a half. Last college football bet. Hawaii plus 10. They're on the island. Hawaii's a bad football team, but you get 10 points in your pocket. Going out to the island is always different, and San Jose say that they're not much better. To the NFL bets, we're going to take the Bills on the money line after getting their pants dropped and embarrassed by the Patriots. You'd like to think the Bills will bounce back at home on Thursday against the Bucks. Chiefs on the money line against the Broncos. I think I was first on the Russell Wilson is cook train last year, and that was even with worst coach of all time, Nathaniel Hackett, coaching him. I think he's toast. And we're gonna take the Ravens on the money line over the Cardinals because I mean, hopefully the good Ravens show up, because when the good Ravens show up, they look like the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, and they can certainly Lamar Jackson too, just like playing like a straight video game when they're in that they're in that form, and he is exciting when that happens. But
So
hopefully they can pull it off.
So you parlay. I hope you were listening. I hope you had your pencil ready. If you parlay all 16 of those, that's a plus 38,522. So I'm trying to pull a magic trick with 72 cents, John, and we'll see where that one lands.
Unfortunately, we can't buy a wine from that year with the winning. So,
well, hey, if I may hit on like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 more of those, just get a time machine, and then we can get.
There we go, buddy. There we go.
Yeah, we're gonna invest in the time machine. We won't need to record this podcast because we can have access to a time machine.
I know. Do everything we want then.
Yeah, exactly.
But Alex, I think that's it for today's Degenerates Corner. But anything else you want to share with our viewers about what's to come, or any closing thoughts?
Well, tune in next week. We'll do this all again. We got more bad. There'll be plenty of bad football in week 8. We'll be laying more action with these modest stakes wagers. See if we win some money in the interim. And yeah, stay tuned, because we're really excited about the direction that we're taking this. And other than that, John, the Boston Celtics are not a basketball team. They're a way of life, but they need to win the effing championship. God damn it. Oh, it's just like, all right. Yep. That's kind of where things are at.
Respect.
Wait, they got to win it. There's no failure.
There's
is not
no
an
excuse.
There's
no excuse anymore.
It's a no more.